want you to do is hold that thought. I'm going to stick it out, and I want you to converse.
Well, you're probably stuck with my ass.
No, I want you to talk to me later on.
Right.
Which I didn't mention earlier, but I want every one of you, if you've got any kind of a question, to say, Jeffrey, I got a question. And that way the question ties into the subject matter I'm talking about at the time. And so, this is an open forum. I want you to know I learn as much from you as you might learn from a woodwalk.
Any coordination between southern exposure or northern exposure and alignment?
There's a powerful orientation to eastern slopes.
A lot of variation.
And correlation to fall lines. And correlation to high points. The higher in New England that gives a vista of it's sacred to this ancient world. Matter of fact, I just spoke on behalf of a timber company in Shutesbury, up on the west side of the Quabbin, south of New Salem, north of Pelham, 10 and 202. Last September, I'm defending an Indian burial ground that they want to put a solar farm on and bulldoze it and annihilate these obvious mounds that are in patterns that are not colonist patterns. They're Native American or some earlier civilization had geometrics and its pattern, the mounds.
You got a picture of that?
No, I was never at the site.
Oh.
But I stood and tried to make a monkey out of the attorney, and I did a damn good job every time I got there. Why, the drums beat and the bells rang and the jingles of the Native American faction, I loved them and they loved me.
Do you have an idea of, when you're saying ancient civilizations, how far back?
A lovely question. How old is this stuff? How long ago did the dinosaurs go out of here? What is it? Yeah, 60, 65 we're told, right? So I cut that in half. I say my civilization is 30 million years old. Why? Because I've got sculpture, which I'd like you to each take a business card of mine. My business card has a profound facial expression in stone from Union, Connecticut, with a size reference called Hank Hatch of North Brookfield. And as you see my business card and this obvious face, just like Old Man of the Mountain is going to be depicted right there off an old snapshot. I've got him right up to here. I've got dinosaurs. I've got tuatoras. Tuatora once was 100 species, they said, who thrived at the same time as the dinosaurs, and now there's one species left. And how do I say I think it's a tuatora? Because I stop at tag sales and get children's dinosaur books to give me eyeball reference to the many forms and animals that I see depicted on these rocks.
What's a tuatora?
He's like a lizard, iguana looking, and a tuatora is pictured right here. I've got a close-up and a far away in Stafford, Connecticut, and he's right up here waiting for you when I'm done with this dissertation.
That ain't you going, Jeffrey?
Pardon?
I apologize.
That's all right. Talk to me later.
Going.
Talk to me later.
Open forum, right?
Anybody else?
Open forum.
Nobody else?
Yeah.
Come on, you got
Sir.
a question.
I think many of these things may have been created by an ancient culture, but I think a lot of them are naturally made as well.
As well.
That you're showing us. But like the turtle, I can't believe how that could have been made naturally.
With that 80-foot wide turtle?
Yeah, the turtle. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, you're picking on me pretty hard.
What's fun is not only do I see what appears to me to be a species that I can identify, but it's not just the picture, it's how it relates to other things that form patterns.
You got the
And alls I am is a guy who's got 19 years into this. And how in the heck I cannot describe a civilization that was probably around for millions of years and what they did. Time, and I'm going to seek out some pretty. Once this starts to roll, I really want to dig this and take it as far as I can take it. And that's why I'm so appreciative of tonight and this overwhelming
Should be,
response.
You should,
Yes.
see things in stone that men make, yeah,
Are you still in?
you should be.
My question is, if this was some ancient civilization, how do you envision, how could they move such heavy rocks? What, did they use some equipment, or were they giants?
If I
or-
could say, I'm going to revert back to the Hindi. And the Hindi said that civilization has risen and fallen 3 times to now the 4th rise, with evidence of nuclear war and flying machines. So if they have machines, are they internal combustion Pratt & Whitney engines? Are they anti-gravitational machines that go off at the speed of light? What kind of machines? I'm not there yet.
So your answer is that they use machines?
I don't know what they use, but I'll tell you one thing. They're placed with intelligence and intent because there's patterns to them.
There's no evidence that there's been any humans in North America longer than 10 or 15,000 years. So how do you think these things were carved 30 million years ago?
Because I have dinosaurs and prehistoric animals that are depicted right there. You'll be able to see it plain as day. Plus, I've got hundreds of now other shots of animals that once roamed here and are now fossilized in millions of year old bedrock.
Mm-hmm. Millions of years. That's right.
Granted, there's dinosaur bones in New England. There's no doubt about that.
Can I tell you what is also granted? In a site in Chester, Massachusetts, which I will see when the snow goes off, in the bedrock of Chester, in a very remote outback place, says the gentleman who will take me there, are 3-toed dinosaur footprints in the bedrock. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Are you ready for this? Alongside of it are 5-toed human footprints. Kaboom, 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 kaboom. The picture's worth $1 million. And not only is it there, it's known in other places around the planet. You go to your internet.
This guy's bugged me.
Sir,
Question and a comment. If you've been to Ireland, there are huge dolmens that are many tons just on 3 pillars that are like 5 and 6 feet high. So somehow, and they were done prior to the Egyptian tomb, so somehow those civilizations in Ireland did that type of thing. My question to you, Jeffrey, is
Yes, sir.
in Ireland, the dolmens and the large, they're all around a burial ceremony. All their cairns, or not cairns, what do you call them? The burial tombs.
Cairns.
And
the dolmens,
the dolmens,
the
and you can-
comlix.
But also the burial
the
tomb.
burial tombs, and there's definitely a period, you can go to different parts of the country and you can see how they progressed till they get very large and down and sophisticated, where the tombs are larger than the football field, and at the solstice, the light goes all the way through into the middle. So, but theirs was all around burial ceremony, and you're kind of indicating that these are almost markers or ways to find from point to point or something like that. Is that your theory, that a lot of these are
No.
markers? Or?
They are a multi-use mechanism.
So
Now
you-
only 1.8 foot dinosaur.
So you're not finding, like some you showed here, definitely look like a burial mound?
Yes, sir.
Or the dolmens, markers, but you're saying that some are markers, some are burial tombs, or?
I never said anything about burial.
Well,
I don't know what they are. They're earthen mounds. They're called geoglyphs.
okay.
And sometimes these geoglyphs are animal forms like Serpent Mound in Ohio. And sometimes I believe I've found snakes right in Granby. That's a phenomenon. It makes Serpent Mound look like an anthill. And I found it on using USGS topo maps. And it's earth and gravel that form this serpentine. Are any of you aware of the phenomenon of the pyramid being not just Egypt, but absolutely all over the planet?
Yeah.
Bosnia is this latest hot thing. They talk about something in Bosnia. Yes, Dawn.
Have you ever thought about publishing a photo book with all your pictures?
My dear, I've had 2 editors hounding the hell out of me.
Good.
I've
And
had
the
3
trail map,
documentary
too.
film companies who drink too much.
Yes.
So what can I,
Someday.
old Mr. Sinatra sang a song. How did it go?
Do it your way.
Bingo. And I want to create mystique, and I want to drive this so as to make a living at it. And I'm going to help all that I can along the way. And many of you know how I feel about humanity. You can read it in my poetry, you can see it in how I behave. Yes, John?